attention and practice are natural sanskars of Brahmin souls. Now you see that we know that Baba has given us the Swadershan Chakra, which means I, the soul, can see myself in the whole cycle. Yes. So at present, I am a Brahmin, but I am not an accurate Brahmin. Yes, I'm trying to, I'm trying to follow Srimad, but not that the accuracy has come. So now you see that Baba has taught us this beautiful method where you remember your different stages of, elevated consciousness in different phases of the cycle. And by remembering them, you invoke them within you. Yes, so basically, when we spin the Swadershan Chakra, what we do is, I remember that I, the soul, am in the soul world. Now in the soul world, what is the sanskar that is in an emerged state? So, in the soul world, you're just there, just be. No thought, no feeling, nothing, it's not peace, it's not peacelessness, it's not happiness, it's not unhappiness. You're just being. You're like that seed in which nothing is emerged. And you just know how to be. There is no body, no thought, nothing. And when you position yourself like that through your man and buddhi, so just like when you exercise with the body, then what do? You position your body in different poses. Yes, so let's say you're doing yoga or you're doing a drill, then you position your hands upwards, and then you just take your hands upwards and just leave them there and allow them to stay in that position for some time. Then what happens? Your hand muscles are getting exercised. Yes, so they are getting strengthened. Similarly, when you just, through your man and buddhi, you go and sit in that soul world, and you sit there as a soul, in that state of being where there is no thought, nothing. You're just being a point of light. Then there is Baba and there are the souls around you and everything is there, but then you're just in your state of being, just like a star in the sky. Then that invokes your sanskars to just be, because we are living in this world where there is always doing. And even if not another aspect of doing, at least the thinking is always there. And thinking is also doing, right? But you just sit there, and even if you cannot not think, there's just one thought, I am a soul. So just this one thought that I am a soul, I am a star of light in this world of light. You just position yourself like that. So that's one thing. Then the second part is, you see yourself as a deity in Satyug, and a deity is pure, yes, and a deity has the sanskar of harmony and love and sweetness. And then as a deity, you have a body and you are engaging in relationships and you are doing work and everything you're doing, yes, but just think about what would be your expression on the face, or what would be, how would your eyes be, or how would what would be the language that the eyes would speak, or what would be your body language, and how would you move, how would you talk. And if you just thought about that, then also a lot of sanskars of the deity religion will emerge. And that's why it's very important to spin the, and you see, in every phase of the cycle you have a different set of elevated sanskars, and those elevated sanskars are somewhere merged now. Yes, they are not active because for very long we have not used them, so they have merged. Now as you spin this Swadershan chakra, as you go into reflecting on different phases of your existence in these 84 births, you kind of invoke these sanskars. So then when you think about yourself as a worship worthy soul in from the copper age onwards, you are in a temple and everyone is coming, and you are the one freely giving love and sending vibrations of comfort and blessing to everyone, and everyone is filling their aprons and leaving from that door. So you are also emerging your sanskars of a giver and your sanskars of compassion, because what do you experience in a temple? So you feel that the deity is compassionate. Yes, so you emerge your sanskars of being compassionate, being a giver in your worship worthy stage. And then as a Brahmin, so who is a Brahmin? So you see, a Brahmin is someone who totally follows Baba's directions. And Baba tells us that you are the Shiv Shakti army. Yes, Shiv Shakti Pandav army. So we are the ones who change hell into heaven on Shiv Baba's directions. And today Baba is pointing out a very important sanskars that Brahmins have. So in your perfect stage as a Brahmin, you have this sanskar, and Baba is giving this knowledge so that we can invoke that sanskar now. Yes, so when you know a sanskar, you can invoke it. And Baba says you have this sanskar of being continuously able to pay attention and be in practice. So practice and attention, constant attention and practice are the sanskars of a Brahmin. And even if you think that you don't have that sanskar now, just know that that's there in you. And if that was not there, you wouldn't be a Brahmin. So Baba says every Brahmin has this sanskar. So now that we have come to Baba, I must know that I have this sanskar to continuously have attention and continuously practice. Do you get tired of paying attention? Or do you feel that Baba says don't take the tension of paying attention? Yes, so do you sometimes feel that paying attention all the time is very difficult? But Baba says you are those souls who can very easily pull this off. So you are those souls who are gifted to pay attention to everything in a very easy way. And Baba says this attention is very important if you want to strike a balance, because when we don't have this, when we don't apply this sanskar of attention, then or we don't use this sanskar of paying attention, then what we do is we focus all our attention on something and then we neglect the other thing. Yes, but Baba says you have this sanskar of focusing your attention on many things simultaneously, and many things not only on the outside, not only on what you do, but you have the capacity to pay attention on every aspect of the inside also while doing everything outside. Yes. So let me ask you one simple question. When you are talking, so when you are talking, engaging in conversation, are you able to be soul conscious? So, sometimes children say that when I'm sitting and being soul conscious, I can be soul conscious. But when I'm talking, I lose that attention that I'm a soul. And I deviate from my, stage of peace and purity. And I suddenly, all my attention is on the talking. Yes, so, but if you do that, then what happens is that talking, that so much of talking will not give you the result it is meant to give. Because the most important thing is that all our energies should be in balance. All our energies should be in balance. They should be in alignment with each other. And especially mansa, vacha, karmana. So, when you are doing something and when you are saying something and your thoughts, they should align with each other. Otherwise, what happens is you end up confusing the world or the universe more than helping it. So let's say, let's take one simple example. So, sometimes parents come and they say that I want my child to do better in studies. Yes, and then they are sending them to coachings and tuitions and so many classes so that they can do better. But then they speak that, I don't have any hope with this child. This child is spoiled and I really don't think that they can recover or something, but I'm doing my best. So you see, the words you're speaking, the thoughts you're creating, and what you're doing and what you're wanting is not in alignment. And then what happens is, you're doing so much, but that is not giving any result. Yes? So I'm just here talking about the energy of thought, word, and act. So this is one alignment that we need to have. But then do you pay attention? Because if you don't pay attention, you will never become aware of the discrepancy between what you speak, what you think, and what you do. Yes, and if you observe, this is a very important subject, because have you seen that you can see the discrepancy between what other people are doing, saying, and thinking? So have you seen that people are saying something and doing the opposite? Have you seen that? Don't you think that that same discrepancy might be there in you also? So, we are able to observe the discrepancy between their thoughts, words, and acts because we are paying attention to them. Right? Because you're paying attention to them. And if you're not paying attention to yourself, you will never observe that you are doing the same thing. But probably you are, and mostly you are. So, if we paid attention, we will be able to see there is a lot of gap between what I'm thinking, what I'm speaking, and what I'm doing, and there is no alignment. So, these days, I feel there is this phenomena where you're watching videos on peace, and you're listening to classes on peace, and you're engaging in vicious behavior, but then you think that I'm a very peaceful person because I watch videos on peace. But then the other people around you, if you ask them, they would say, no, this person only talks about peace and they watch videos on peace, but they are not peaceful in their behavior. So this is the most anxious, and somebody who actually induces anxiety in others also. So if you look at that, so you have to pay attention. So, when you pay attention on what you are speaking, what you're thinking, and what you are doing, then you will be able to discern the disalignment between all three. And success is a very tricky thing. So, success is a very direct byproduct of when all your energies are in alignment. So, a human soul is so powerful that if I thought something, then that has to happen. I'm Master God. Do you understand? I'm the child of God. So a human soul is not a lame, weak being, creature that who has no power. So you are a very powerful soul. But then why are human souls in this condition today? Because our own energies are not in alignment. And that is why Baba says that, when you are a self-sovereign, you will be a world sovereign. It's all about mastering your own energies. And I will tell you one thing. So, we listen to this thing in the Murli that whenever you're talking to somebody, look at them as a soul, right? But I remember that, when I started doing seva, then I would listen to this point in the Murli very often. So, that whenever you are at least giving Baba's introduction, look at the other person as a soul. And I thought, yeah, I do that. Is it not that I obviously look at the other person as a soul? What else do I look at? But I realized that later on, when I checked, when I paid attention, I felt that maybe I don't look at them as souls consciously. And I observed that if somebody is very sweet, then and they are sweet, they are talking sweet, and they are very nice by nature, then when I come back from the course, I tell them, that sister is very sweet, she's very nice, she's very polite. And so I'm not focusing on the soul, or somebody is so maybe not the negatives, but at least or somebody is very innocent. So somebody is when you're giving them the course, they ask really innocent questions. Then I tell that this person was very innocent, and they asked me this question, and I almost laughed, and I never thought that you have to give this explanation also. And then I started realizing that I'm not looking at that one as a powerful, blissful, knowledgeful soul. I'm not looking at that one with that kind of elevated vision. And then I practiced. So, once you pay attention, you practice. So, it required a lot of practice to hold that vision, while giving the course, to just hold that vision that despite how they speak, despite how they behave, despite how they come across as, this soul is God's child, and this is not just sweet and innocent, not just the qualities that you think are bad qualities, but even the other set, like sweet and innocent, can be quite biased, because that which is sweet and innocent is not powerful. Yes, so but a soul is a balance of every quality, and every soul who is, explicitly they come across as sweet and innocent also, they are full of power and the power to discern, and they are, they have the ability to do everything. So then I started practicing having this vision. And let me tell you that after that, I felt that, when souls undertook the course, they understood Gyan better. They understood Gyan better, and I observed that difference also. So, our own energies are not limited to your thoughts, your words, and your acts. But what is your vision? What is your drishti? What is your attitude? Yes, what is your attitude towards the other soul? And what is your, and then the most important thing is, what consciousness are you in? So, are you sitting in the awareness of an elevated Swaman? So, just like today Baba says that you are the Shiv Shakti Pandav army. So, am I sitting in that Swaman? Or am I sitting in that Swaman that I am the master purifier sent by the purifier to purify? So, are you sitting in an elevated consciousness yourself? Because you can do many things which may look like good actions, but if your own consciousness is not elevated, then those actions will not translate into results. Let's take an example. Suppose you do everything all day, and everybody is saying that without you, this home wouldn't exist, or you are the one taking care, and you are the one who is doing everything, and you are indispensable, and you are the one handling all responsibilities. So you are obviously earning blessings, yes? But if your consciousness is, everybody is treating me like a maid, who am I? I'm just a maid, all day running around, these people are sitting, and I also want to sit, but I'm not enjoying my life, I'm just doing all day. So what is your consciousness? Your consciousness is a low consciousness, victim consciousness. And then with that low consciousness, you can even stop all those blessings from reaching out to you. Because every time somebody says, you see, everybody is so happy and they are so, they are so thankful to you. In your mind, you say, yes, they are using me, so they have to be thankful to me. So you are not even taking the thank you, let alone the blessings. You're not even able to receive the thank you, because you are in such low consciousness. And it is very important that you pay attention to your own consciousness, to your attitude towards others, to your drishti, to your thoughts, words, acts, all at the same time. Yes, all at the same time. And it is very, very important. And then there is another thing which is, karma. So, you also have to have, pay attention to other things. Like, let's say, there was this one, so I'll tell you, last time there was this one Mata who suggested that, because there was a lot of, this oil and ghee that's used in Brahma Bhojan cooking and all. So she suggested that, we would just, sprinkle atta, flour, wheat flour on the slab and then clean that. So I said, would you just waste so much of wheat flour to clean that slab? So she said, yes, it gets cleaned in 2 minutes. So I said, why do you have to do it in 2 minutes? Take 5 minutes. We'll all take 5 minutes, 10 minutes and do it. So she said, so you see, she gave a suggestion, but that did not earn good wishes. Why? Because paying attention to karma is also very important. So, Baba says that you have to pay attention to not just the immediate result, but also to what kind of karma is it creating. Yes. And Baba says, do everything in a Trikaldarshi stage. So, 3 aspects of time you have to consider while doing something. So, let's say, you want to do something at some time, but then it is affecting other people around you in a certain way. And then you choose to do it anyway. But then later on the repercussions will come and you will have to deal with that. So it is very important to not just pay attention to the present, but also to the repercussions in the future. Yes, so let's say, one day you're just feeling like taking off and flying away, but then at that time, your child has an exam, and then you leave the child and go anyway, and then all his life is blaming you that you were not there for my exam. And these are certain things. It's not just this one example, but whenever you do something, you have to look at the past, present and future, and that's paying attention. If you don't pay attention, you might be feeling a certain way today, but tomorrow when those repercussions come, you will not like it. So do not function under the influence of emotions, running away, escaping, or sometimes I remember there was this one brother, and he told me that I was not feeling well. So, I was not feeling like communicating, and there was this friend reaching out to me, and I just didn't pick his call. And he reached out to me, I think 120 times, but I just didn't pick his call. And then he said, that relationship is over now, and I want to make amends, but I can't. So I said, you could have just picked the phone and spoken that, I'm not in a good frame, and probably I'll not be able to talk, or whatever help you are seeking, probably I might not be able to give. So, you could have just spoken and you could have just shared. So, because he kept thinking, he kept thinking that, and in his mind he kept creating stories. So why do that? You could just be plain and simple, frank with them. So this thing that once you feel like avoiding, you feel like running away, you feel like doing something, but that has repercussions, or you feel sad or sorrowful or angry and you just burst out. But no, Baba says pay attention to what will this karma lead to. So Baba tells us that on so many levels you have to be attentive at the same time. So all at once. And I have given you a class for the last 35 minutes on what all you have to pay attention to. And still, there are so many aspects remaining. But when you apply this, it is a 1 second thing. In that very second, you have to pay attention to all of these things. So you have to be aware of your consciousness, your attitude, your vision, your words, your actions, you have to be aware of what are the repercussions. And this is called the power to discern and decide. So, this is how you discern and decide, and you're quick enough to position yourself in a very accurate place internally. And this sanskar, Baba says, you have in you. And you have to just remember that I can do all of this at once. And then the sanskar of practicing. So even and when you pay attention, you feel that, this thing I lack, or this quality, or this power, then you can practice in meditation, you can practice applying it, and you can develop every sanskar by practicing. And Baba says every Baba's child has these two qualities, and you just you have to just be aware that I, the Brahmin soul, have the natural ability to pay attention and to practice. And then Baba says that when you are doing seva, if you have this ability to pay constant attention, then you will be able to continuously do seva. Because as I told you, if you are not paying attention to your consciousness, your attitude, your vision, you're just paying attention to what you're doing, but not on the internal set, then what happens is, internally that machinery is working in such a way that you're depleting yourself. I gave you the example of that lady who does everything all day and is in victim consciousness, and then she's depleting herself. So, she's doing work all day, think about it, and then she's depleting herself, and then she reaches a burnout point. But if you paid attention to, your inner state while doing everything outside, then you will be nourishing both of them simultaneously. So you will be creating good karma also, and you will create a powerful state within also, and those two will not clash with each other. They will be complementary to each other, or rather, they will help each other. So this is very important. And then Baba says that also remember that you are a victorious soul. So, you pay attention to being in Swaman. So, sometimes externally you are doing a lot, but then internally you are just thinking that maybe, maybe not, maybe I'll succeed, maybe I'll fail, I don't know. And then what are you doing? You're doing everything and self-sabotaging. So, Baba tells us that if you just knew that your own energies, when they are in alignment, they will do wonders for you. And when they are in disalignment, then they are the reason why you're doing something, doing everything and getting nothing. So sometimes, people wonder, I'm doing so much, why am I not getting everything in return? So this is the reason. And then it's not like, for paying attention, you have to take extra time out or something like that. No, it's a very natural process. You can be attentive, you have the natural sanskar to practice. And then what I loved in the Murli today is that we are Shiv Shakti Pandav army. And do you think about yourself as a responsible soul, responsible for changing the state of the world? Or you just think about yourself in a very myopic way? Because one one thing that Maya does is makes you very myopic. Myopic looks better because selfish looks bad, but it's one and the same thing. So, we become very selfish and we think that, when I am happy, the world is happy. But yes, when you are happy, the world is happy. But you think about world happiness or not? That's the question. Yes. So Baba says that, do you understand that it's not just your life? There are some people who say that it's my life, I can do whatever I want with it. No, but you are a brick in the wall, and the whole world depends on you. So do you understand that there's a very good saying that a wall is only as strong as its weakest brick? Because one brick collapses, the wall collapses. So do you understand that you are an individual, but you are also a very big part of the collective? And do you understand that everything you do personally, individually, has an effect to the whole system, to the whole universe? And Baba says, when you understand this, you understand the importance of your own purity. You understand the importance of you being soul conscious and remembering Baba. You understand the importance of you using your resources for world seva, and you understand the importance of being non-violent. Yes, so Baba says whatever you do is affecting everyone and everything around you. And when you remember Baba, when you are soul conscious, those vibrations are spreading into the world. When you embrace purity, when you are doubly non-violent, which means you never use lust and anger as your weapons. You are always dealing with everything around you without lust and anger. Then you are that army which is making this world heaven. So Baba says, do you understand your responsibility? Because if you don't pay attention to yourself, sometimes you think that it's my life. What if I do? What if I don't? Yes, it's my individual choice. But Baba says it's not your individual choice. There's a responsibility also. And I think, this sense of responsibility is a very beautiful thing. And I have seen, many people when they become parents, and psychology also says that, when you become a parent, there is a very big shift inside you. Yes, and what is it that brings about that shift? It's not becoming a parent, it's knowing that you are a parent. Yes, so it's that awareness that you're responsible. So when you feel responsible, you're capable of much more than you think you are. Yes, and suddenly you know that, I've seen, there was this Mata, and she had never been out of the village, and then she came to Delhi, and her child had to be taken to school and to other classes and stuff. And this Mata, she would take her child everywhere. She would use the bus, the auto, the metro, everything. And then I once asked her, you came from the village, you did not know how to use all of this, this transport and communication and everything. And how did you do it? She said, karna padta hai na, didi, karna padta hai. So I have to do this, I have to do this. And just by knowing that, you have to do this, what other choice do you have? Otherwise, how will the child be taken care of? You suddenly start doing everything. And Baba says, if you just knew that, the future of this world depends on you, you would be so much more careful with your dharana. and you would pay attention to your soul consciousness and your state of remembrance and purity, and you would understand that you are creating a non-violent world. So you have to pay attention to your state of non-violence. Okay, Om Shanti.